Hey everyone, Jenna Sullivan here from Mammoth, California today, and wanting to share with you our beautiful little patches and what they do for you. But I want to give you a little bit of education about peptides to help you understand the difference and why that might matter to you. I'm a naturopath, so I help people from a holistic, whole body, natural perspective. I don't get into giving people medications. I don't have patients, I have clients, and I work with them in a very different way. I have various and sundry degrees. I have a lot of different degrees, including, board certified naturopath. I can't say my full title because the state of California doesn't allow me, but that is what I've actually have a degree in. And I also am a master herbalist. I'm a certified master herbalist plus other things. So I'm a certified French medicinal aromatherapist. But one thing that I love using in my practice with my clients is phototherapy and peptide therapy. So when I found this product, it just made sense because it does everything I need it to do while limiting my clients' need for so many supplements or so many other things that they might need. This gets them to titrate down off of certain medications with their primary care physicians. They work together to make sure that their levels are fine. But what's really interesting is this is one of those products that has been a game changer because it helps with peptides. And so when we start to understand like the idea behind peptide therapy and what that looks like, I want to just show you kind of how to kind of, I guess, navigate this from a peptide perspective. And so we're going to be just giving you a quick disclaimer that this is for educational purposes only. I am a brand partner. I'm not trying to give medical advice to anyone, and I'm not trying to help you diagnose or treat or cure or prevent, right? We're not doing anything to your diseases or illnesses. My goal is to help your body function more optimally. So what I want to do though first is get into the understanding of the importance of peptides and what they are. So a peptide is basically a short chain of amino acids, anywhere from 2 to 50 amino acids chained together, and they basically act as messengers. So when you have peptides, which all of us do in our bodies, they act as different messengers that give instructions to your cells. So what do those do? Well, they can help with your immune health. They can help with your metabolism, like burning fat. It helps build muscle. Again, just different peptides do this. Your hormones, your brain health, it can help heal and repair. It depends on the peptide. So what I want you to understand, though, is that there are actually technically three different types of peptides. One is human, right? We know that. It's what our body does. It's like when the sun hits your skin and your skin is triggering your body to produce what? Vitamin D. We know that that vitamin D is not from a pill. It's not synthetic. Your body's making that. So that's human. It's called endogenous. So endogenous peptides are far better than synthetic or man created. Okay, so sometimes you'll see a company that is giving you a pill form of peptides, and those peptides are, say, a combination of amino acids, and they're saying it is this peptide in pill form. And maybe it's from nature, maybe it's food sourced amino acids, right? Which is, you can get a collagen peptide, and that's basically amino acids. That is just it's like the blueprint needed. It's not the actual peptide. So you're not actually getting peptides, you're getting amino acids. And even if it was combined as a peptide in the supplement, and if it was natural, it's not human, and it's also combined in a way that your body, your digestive system, will literally break down into amino acids and then use how it wants to create peptides. Okay, that's what our bodies do. The synthetic forms are the worst. Usually those are the ones that are injectables. Things like BPC 157, that is not a human peptide. It's something that has, people are injecting to get this kind of rapid healing, but that is synthetic, and it's something that's, if you find a BPC 157 supplement in it that you take pill form, they're garbage. But the injectables, it's like, it's a little risky, right? So I know kids that use this, they're injecting air bubbles into their bloodstream. They don't know what they're doing. They're going to the hospital. It's synthetic. We don't know the long-term risks of synthetic peptides. It's like anything synthetic. So what is the difference? Well, your human endogenous peptides are perfectly matched to your body. They're time timed well, meaning they're going to be self-regulated. Your body's going to time when they're released and when they're created and what they're needed for. And there's a complete signaling, meaning it's actually combining and completing a perfect signal to messenger exactly what needs to happen. This is why they are highly effective. When you get into synthetic and even natural peptides that are just made in a pill form, they're poorly matched. Because remember, your body is going to just kind of like do what it needs to do with the amino acids and break it down. But it's unregulated and there's chaotic timing, which means your body's like, well, I don't need this right now, so just go ahead and eliminate it. And the incomplete signaling is probably the most important part. You might have some benefits, but very incomplete and very like sporadic. So this is why these are highly ineffective. And there are a lot of companies out there that are claiming they have these peptides, which they do, but your body will break them down and not use them the way that you think they should be used. Okay, so how do we kind of create better amino acids in our bodies, or better, peptides in our body? You need the basic materials. So even though a supplement might have amino acids, right? You can take your collagen supplements or your peptide supplements knowing that you're getting amino acids. It's like Celergize is a supplement that has amino acids in it that then are the building blocks basically for your body to create peptides. But, amino acids are found in our foods, mostly, protein. You can get them through vegetarian sources, not a problem. Copper, you see a lot of people talking about things like AHKCU, GHKCU. It's a copper-bound peptide. And these are, again, you get this stuff in your body, so you don't necessarily need to take a supplement. However, sometimes your bodies are not absorbing nutrients properly. So that's a case in point to maybe do a 1 milligram supplement of copper. There's different ways of doing that. But I want to help you understand something real specific about a very specific peptide, okay? So we want to learn about one particular one called GHKCU. So this one peptide is getting so much traction. Okay, you're hearing about this everywhere. You're hearing about injectables. You're hearing about things that you can consume as a capsule, rub-ons, things that you would put on your skin, topicals. This was actually discovered in 1973 by Dr. Laurent Picard. You can see him holding a jar of powdered GHKCU, which is, you can synthesize this. And his whole thing was the idea that one of the most profound benefits to GHKCU is skin health. I'm 52 years old. My husband, I was going to wear a tank top tonight, but he was, we were joking that I didn't look like I had anything on. But he was interested in the fact, and he just noticed this, which is interesting. It's been 3 years that I've been doing endogenous GHKCU. And he was like, your chest is better. What in the world? Like, oh, you're just now noticing? This happened about 3 months in, and that's a common thing that when you increase GHKCU in your body, your skin is one of the first things to be affected in a lot of cases. This is what his study was on. So that's why you can see his book there is Skin and Hair Beauty. Skin and hair was a big thing. And they thought if they could somehow bottle this and put it into lotions and creams and potions, that we would be good. Well, we all know that that never took off. And you're probably like, I don't remember growing up in the 80s learning about a GHKCU rub-on lotion because they're blue. Nobody wants to become blue, So it's an interesting thing that realistically, the thing about GHKCU is that it's actually a human endogenous peptide, and it acts more effectively when it is human endogenous, not from like, a capsule or from a rub-on. So I want to tell you why this is so important. All of the studies, and there's a lot of studies online on like peer-reviewed gold standard studies regarding GHKCU specifically. So this is not new information. This is from 1973 onward. You can go look this up. It's everywhere. You can even go to Patch.edu, and I've listed some of the most important studies on GHKCU. That it is very well documented that at the age of 20, we have a very high level of GHKCU, and that those GHKCU levels plummet with age, and they kind of snowball plummet. So by the age of 30, that your human GHKCU levels declines by 60%. By the age of 60, 90%. It just exponentially falls off, right? So what scientists have learned, though, is that GHKCU actually rises and falls at the same exact rate as your healing regenerative cells. So that's fascinating to me because then we can start looking at like, okay, if I can somehow create endogenous peptides, right? Endogenous human GHKCU, if I could get that human element in it where my body is creating it, what would that do for me? I'm gonna help you guys just understand that this is a big deal. One of the most basic levels of benefits is that it will, because remember, it rises and falls at the same level of healthy regenerative cells. This is going to increase healthy cell proliferation. That just means you're gonna have cells that divide, like my skin here, right? The cells as you age don't divide and as well, or they mutate, and so that's why you get wrinkles. But if I have a lot more healthy cells proliferating, what happens is my skin starts to bounce back, okay? All sorts of things start to bounce back. So healthy cell proliferation. And remember, if you go back to our graphic here, it's going to help with a lot of things, right? So these are some of the basic things of peptides in general, but when we get into GHKCU, it can help with strength, your muscles, your tendons, everything, your stamina, your ability to kind of go longer, just your ability to move. How many of you want to be able to climb up and down a staircase? I mean, some of the most basic things that we lose as we age, you can get that back. Cognition, just your mental clarity and focus, right? Where are my glasses? And they're like on your face, like that kind of thing. Your energy levels. This is interesting to me where most people feel this right away because the way that the product that I'm going to share with you activates your GHKCU is through mitochondrial activity. But for long-term energy, sustainable energy, when you have higher levels of GHKCU, it's wild. So there's a twofold energy factor when it comes to this, but it's also going to help your moods, right? It's going to help even ladies going through menopause, right? Men with just like crazy mood swings. This helps even you out. Again, this is GHKCU. This helps with your hormones. It helps balance them. It doesn't increase or decrease. It helps balance. It also can help with skin smoothing, right? I mean, it's wild. It can help support healthy vision, healthy gums, healthy digestion. There are so many different things because if you think about it, when you have a lot of younger, healthier cells, it's actually going to just create a younger, healthier you. So remember, endogenous GHKCU is the key here. So I want to introduce you to a product that has been scientifically proven, clinically proven, it's patented to say it is proven to significantly increase endogenous GHKCU copper peptide in your body within just 1 week of wearing it. And they've even shown that after 6 months of doing this one easy thing, you actually can see greater benefits. And they say upwards of 2,000%, which is that even a real number? No, but meaning the proliferation rate gets kind of tops out where your body is now good, like you're doing well. And I love that. So I want to share with you this product. It's so simple. And I'm not telling you that this product does all those things. I'm telling you what this product does is it increases endogenous GHKCU in your body. Not from a pill, not from a supplement. It's non-transdermal. Literally, nothing's going into your body. So if you're like, I need to get my doctor's approval, you can go ahead and say, I have a phototherapy patch that I would like to wear, and it's non-transdermal. And they will say to you, go for it. Okay, so just know it's non-transdermal. It's clinically proven to produce endogenous GHKCU for younger, healthier cells. It is an FDA recognized and compliant general wellness product. We are very compliant with the FDA, and we make sure we are. And just know that this is made out of amino acids and salts embedded into a fabric disc that is encased in medical grade plastic, and it's using infrared light to signal your body. So this is a tiny little patch, peel and stick, and going back to this is what we call a sleeve. There are 30 of these patches in a sleeve, and you wear 1 patch per day. So instead of having to plug something in and sit under a light, this is your own body's infrared light. So I'm going to just quickly show you the patent that it's proven. We have a lot of studies on this, a lot of research, but it works through phototherapy. So we talked a little bit earlier about vitamin D and the sun. Specific wavelengths hit your skin and trigger your body to turn on health. Okay, so what that means is the sun doesn't have vitamin D in it. The rays itself are the switch, if you will, to signal your body to do something specific. It's signaling your cells to do something. Now, in the case of these patches, it's signaling your skin, same as the sunlight does, the dermis of your skin to do something. And in the case of this, it's saying combine GHKCU. So combine glycine, histidine, lysine, and copper. That's all. It's literally asking, telling your body, it is a signal that is telling your body to take what's already there. You already have glycine, histidine, lysine, and copper in your body. And it's saying, what the signal is here is it's saying, go ahead and combine those things to turn on health, to specifically create GHKCU in the body. This is fascinating, okay? Again, we are made out of infrared light, meaning you emit infrared light, night vision goggles, like a thermal scan here. It's different heat patterns. And so this is what is actually reflecting off these tiny little like mirrors that are made out of salts and amino acids inside the actual patch itself, and it's reflecting that light, creating a wavelength that is signaling a specific pattern. There's 10 different patches that we have, and each one has a different pattern that signals your body to do something different, to actually create different peptides. That's what each of our patches do. And so like in the case of X39, it's telling your body to produce more AHKCU, a completely different peptide. So it's very interesting when you get into this, like carnosine, glutathione. We have patches that help your body increase more of those. But we have to remember when somebody says, well, will it help for this? Will it help for that? What about this? I have this, I've had this for years and it's not helping. Okay, but we don't know what's going on inside your body, and we don't know what needs to be happening first. So your body is going to take those younger, healthier cells that GHKCU produced, and it's going to go where it's most critical first. So you have to give it time. Okay, you can't just do this for like a month and say, well, it didn't work for me. Most of you need 12 months. Honestly, if you're a little bit on the side of I'm not doing so well, you're going to need at least 12 months. If you're generally healthy, like when I first started this, I was generally healthy. I just had a lot of inflammation, and I kind of like would atrophy when I would sleep. And so I was one of those weird one patch wonders where I wore a patch for one day, and the next day I woke up and I got out of bed like I just got in. Usually I get out of bed like a 90-year-old. Like I'm so stiff and hunched over, and it takes me like the whole walk to the bathroom to straighten out. And it's like I can barely sit on the toilet because you're sore. Wild. Within one day, gone. And that's interesting to me when, something like that happens. It doesn't happen to everybody. That's because I'm generally healthy. That was what I was dealing with the most, and that's where it went to work the fastest on for me. And then I saw a bunch of other results. Like again, after 3 months, my décolletage totally cleared up. My husband didn't notice. He notices 3 years later. But I mean, wow, he noticed. I don't care to show him like, look. But I mean, different things have happened to me. Different things have happened to him, right? So everyone's different. I don't know what's going to happen to you. And that's what's exciting. All you do is you wear this below your navel or behind your neck for 12 hours, basically up to 12 hours. So most of us have an alarm on our phone. You like have 9 a.m. and then you take it off at 9 p.m. and you give yourself a break. Now you need to wear it during your waking hours and take it off during your sleeping hours. So if you have an opposite schedule, just make sure you're wearing it when you're awake and it's off when you're asleep. What happens is your body is creating all of this GHKCU while you're awake. And then when you go to sleep, that is when your regenerative process of healing happens. That's just science. When we go to sleep, that's what our bodies do. And that's the benefit because it needs all those beautiful GHKCU peptides to use at your nighttime regeneration. So that's the key. That is the cycle. So you don't sleep with these on, you sleep with them off, and you wear them when you're awake. It's very important to stay hydrated. You're to sip water, not gulp it. So many of you are actually dehydrated and don't know it. I've been talking for about 22 minutes. I'm going to drink some water. You guys should too. You should be drinking your water every 20 to 30 minutes. Try to get 4 to 5 ounces in every 30 minutes and you're fine. If you go past an hour, you're 50% dehydrated. You're not a camel. You don't store water. If you drink 16 hours in one sitting and then you wait an hour or two, you'll pee all of that out. You'll only absorb and use 4 to 5 ounces, and the rest of it, that's why your urine is clear. Okay, so we need to get better at sipping our water rather than gulping it. That's going to help with this because this helps with the signaling. And electrolytes. Electrolytes are huge. Most of you have a potassium deficiency, okay, and a magnesium. So those are the two electrolytes that tend to be out of whack. Some of you have a sodium deficiency because you've gone too low sodium. So you need about 2,500 to 4,500 milligrams of sodium per day. You're going to want to watch your potassium levels on this. This is something where people don't understand potassium. You need about 4,700 milligrams of potassium. So I want you just to kind of consider what you're eating, and if you need to take an electrolyte stick pack, you can, like, I like Redmond's Relight. There's a couple ones, like Cure is a good one. Another one is the Ultima Hydration. There's a bunch out there. I look for ones that don't have added sugar or bad for you things. You want to keep it pretty clean. Okay, so what I want you to understand though about this product is that you're going to want to get it on it, number one, right away. So contact the person that shared this with you and tell them I'm ready to sign up. It's Monday. It'll ship tomorrow. You'll have them by Wednesday or Thursday. They're very fast shipping. We have a very unique, patented, and proven product, and you can't get this anywhere else, okay? What I want you to understand is that we have a 3,000 growth rate since this product was released. I don't know of any company that can claim that. We are the fastest growing direct sales company in the world 2 years in a row. This is David Schmidt, our founder, who gives all the glory to God on these, which is wild to see any scientist or CEO give the glory for their product to God. He does, and it's really great to see his study and research and what he's moving forwards toward. And just know that he has, I think now it's close to 250 patents, but we have the standard of 200 patents and counting. Probably 250 any day they'll announce that, but 80 studies on all of our patches. It's just wild to see. He created this very simple and professional network marketing structure that has massive momentum, right? We've got the best product that you could ever ask for because it's simple and it's one thing. We're sharing one thing, but we have the most advanced compensation plan. So again, I'm transitioning here. I want you to use this product. It's phenomenal. But I also want you to see the value of the business of it, because I will tell you, after 33 years in business, in this industry, 7 different companies, this is the most mind-blowing one I've ever experienced. Okay. And I can even go as back and say it's 9 or 10 companies. I grew up going to Tupperware parties with my mom. I saw the women winning pink Cadillacs, in the one where it's the makeup, it's crazy to me to think I grew up in this industry and then I now that's how I make my money. And what I mean by that is I love this company. I love this industry, but I want you to know I've never in my 33 years of doing this seen something like this. 9 ways to get paid is phenomenal. So we're not going to go over all these. You can take a screen grab of it, but I'm going to share something a little bit different. This is my interpretation of the 2024 earnings disclosure and our compensation enhancement. So we just had a compensation enhancement last year, which means we won't have an earnings disclosure for another year because we changed ranks. So we went from having like 5 ranks to like 9 or something like that. So this isn't all the ranks. This is, basically managers, directors, and executives. And then we have a whole 1-star, 2-star, 3-star presidential, which I took those out of this graph because those people really weren't in the old graph. So there's not very many of them, and they're making anywhere from $500,000 up to $5 million. Okay, so I don't like giving people unrealistic claims, and I don't think it's fair for anyone to have an unrealistic financial claim. The FTC doesn't like that. I don't like that. So I'm not making any actual financial claims here. What I'm saying is, if we look at the average earning income potential, and we base it off of the 2024, okay, so you can see my disclaimer at the bottom, but put people in. So based on, I know so many people in this company, you guys, have been asking everybody, okay, what do you make? What do you make? What's your rank? What rank did you fall into? And where's your income? So this is average earnings, okay? This is not what you will earn. This is average. If you were to say, where did all the senior presidential directors fall into? technically they fell into the executive area. They fell into, some of the really low ones that were kind of causing the paychecks to look really low were in the directors. Some of them fell into two-star directors, but most senior presidential directors fell into the one-star to three-star executive state. Okay, so if you were to look at that, generally speaking, the top rung of SPD, that kind of average, was that two-star executive. And then the elite, some of you guys remember the SPD elite, that was that three-star executive. So if you look at the numbers, that's where they rank. So if we kind of understand this graph, and just to be realistic, again, making sure you understand, I want you to think this through. The average time it took to rank to SPD was 2 years. And the SPD generally, like I said, is in that one-star to three-star. So 100,000 to 500,000, okay? So just to be fair, since we don't have the actual numbers, I took the middle one. So it's still a big number. I want you to tell yourself right now, if you went to a full-time job and worked, I don't know, 90 hours a week. Some people do this. They're crazy. They work so much. How long do you think? Do you think it would take you 2 years to get to a salaried position of $250,000? I don't know, maybe, but that's like you are tied to your work. Most of us in this company, we're like, maybe I work 10 to 20 hours a week. Maybe that's like a lot. This is what we talk about. I mean, all of the high ranking presidentials, we're all like, I mean, yeah, we work. We love this and we work it all the time. But I mean, everyone's traveling all the time because we're all earning incentive trips and we're all over the place, right? But the reality is, 2 years of not full time. I mean, I put full time just to be fair here, but it's not full time. But again, just to be fair, if you knew you could work full time on income producing activities in this company, and the average time it takes somebody to get to that middle average two-star executive is $250,000 per year, what would that change for you? Like, what would you do with that? Could you quit your job? Probably. Could you retire your spouse? Probably. Could you travel? Probably. Like, I don't know. What do you want? Right? So, what I love about our system is we have very easy onboarding systems and blueprints to plug in. You make of it what you want to do. We train as best we can, but the sky's the limit. I don't want to give anybody ideas that this is the easy thing. This isn't. This is network marketing. This is work. So I have resources for you guys, but I want to share the basics of how this works. If your mind's kind of reeling right now, could I do this? You need to find your core four. You may take a year or two to find your core four. You might find one and take another year to find your second, and now you've got two strong builders, and that could actually get you to your two-star executive, just so you know. So two builders, one on either side, will do it for you. But generally speaking, you're going to need to have 4 leaders that you're working with, 2 on your right and 2 on your left. We have a binary system, which makes it super simple. And again, the system's plug and play. You start signing people up, and we kind of help you understand the difference between a customer and a brand partner. We make sure you put them in the right spot, because we want you to help people where they're at. So you're going to share X39 with people every single day. You can do 3 people a day sharing X39. You can follow up with 3 people every day. You can share the opportunity with 3 people every day. If you want to blow up faster, you can do a 90-day run where you're sharing X39 with 10 people every day, following up with 10 people every day, and sharing the opportunity with people every day. Do you want to know with 10 people, right? 10, 10, 10. I'm going to tell you right now, if you were to do 10 people per day on each of these, that's 30 different people every day, and you're following up, moving forward, finding new people, asking for referrals, right? I think you'd maybe work 2 hours a day. We've done the math on this. It's not much, okay? Part of that is, though, is all the excitement of getting into other things and learning, and then you start growing and building, and so sure, hours add up, but the actual system is very simple to plug into. Now remember, I said you can join as a customer. You can, and you don't have to do this business, and you can start out as a preferred customer or preferred customer plus, and you can just get your monthly order at a discount. That's how you get the wholesale discount. And then you can decide later if you want to sign up as a brand partner, and that's easy switch, okay? The better value, because it has way more perks if you're wanting to do this, is to join as a brand partner. All of us who are pretty much anyone who's a director and above has upgraded. I don't know anybody that's a 3-star director or or above that hasn't gotten the premium. Okay. So that's something to understand, that it's a full tax write-off. You know, I can go into helping you guys understand that. We're in tax season right now, but you get certain tax deductions throughout the year. You can write off part of your home because you're doing a home business now. It's very advantageous. You can also just come in as an advanced brand partner package that is better pricing maybe, but you're going to eventually upgrade, which is nice. They allow you to upgrade. So these are the different starter kits, and you can start anywhere, and then you can just upgrade until you get to the top. Or you can just start at the top. So it just depends on what you'd like to do. We just like to plug and play and get things going. Most of my people do sign up at the premium when they're ready to go. So oftentimes somebody will come in as maybe a preferred customer, wait a month or two, see how they're doing, and then they just hit the ground running. Okay, so we plug you in wherever it works for you, but I want you to ask yourself, like, what is your dream life? Do you have your dream life now? I am talking from a property we own up in Mammoth, and we were snowboarding today. Even though it's like spring conditions, it was fun. And I sat in my jammies all day and was writing another book, right? I'm working on a different book right now, and we just published another book. Like, we just published the Parasite Detox. Like, I can do what I want when I want. I have an 18-year-old. He's at home hanging out with the other dog. I've got my Frenchie here with me, you know, my husband here. We do whatever, whenever, right? And part of that is, can you see yourself in your dream life? This is my dream life. We're going to Hawaii next month on an earned trip with so many of you. And I can't wait. And it's going to be a blast. And we extended our trip because we can. So we're staying much longer. And why not? You know, I know so many people are island hopping because why not? Right? Because we can. And I'm not worried about work. I'm not worried about because I can do it all from my home. I can do it all from my phone. That's a big deal, you guys. So I just encourage you to continue with your journey. Get started. If you want to hop into the business side, talk to your enroller about how you can kind of transition in, what training materials you have, and just get started. It's the best decision you'll ever make. And like I said, in 33 years of doing this industry, this company has been the most profoundly phenomenal one, from so many different elements, from the product to the corporate staff to the owner, the CEO, the inventor, what's coming. Right? Some of you guys are so excited because the water machine is coming this month, right? I think it's April 9th that you guys have it. You guys, I've had 3 of them. I mean, we were kind of the beta testers, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I've been using, we came up here this week, but last week, all week I used the new one, and it's on point. It's on point. You guys, I can't even tell you, this thing will change everything. And part of that is you want to be aligned with a company that will change everything for not only you and your family and your health of your family, but possibly for your legacy. I know what I'm building here is building a legacy for my kid and hopefully his babies, right, when he has babies. So thanks, you guys, for being here, and I will talk to you next time. We'll see you next Monday. Take care.